We're back. Hi, everybody. We are back and we have a lot to tell you. We've been gone for a long time. We apologize for that, but life has been busy. We wanted to start things back up again and just kind of get the channel moving again, but we figured we had a few things to explain and kind of tell you where we were. So we wanted to answer some questions that we've had a lot of, actually. And questions are things like, where are we? Where did we go? How did we get here? What's our plans? What's happening in the future? And so we thought we'd answer them all right here.
Every question you've ever had, we're going to answer right now.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. Just enough to get you up to speed with, really what's been going on and kind of where we're going to go from here. So we're just going to give you the kind of high level overview, as they say, but hopefully it'll kind of get you enough to get you back on board and get you looking forward to what's next first, because we're really looking forward to it as well.
Yeah. So where are we? Where are we in the world, honey?
We're in our bedroom right now, currently.
Oh, yeah. We are in our bedroom.
We're in a town...
That's not what they want to know.
Oh, they didn't want to know.
No.
I'm sorry. We're in a town called Sumter, S-U-M-T-E-R, Sumter, South Carolina. Mm-hmm. Sumter, South Carolina is about an hour, probably southeast of Columbia, which is the capital of South Carolina.
In case you don't remember that from school.
Yeah, Columbia is like smack in the middle of South Carolina, mm-hmm. So we're just towards the East Coast. And we're probably, still 2 hours from the coast? Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably just under 2 hours from the coast, so we're kind of in between the middle and the coast.
Yeah.
Town's about 40,000-ish or so people, so it's not a big town. Tons of history here. I mean, history that it just goes on and on. It's just amazing how, compared to the West Coast, which is relatively young compared to the East Coast, it's just incredible, the amount of things that we're learning about, not just South Carolina, but our country in general. So that's a whole other region, but it's pretty cool here. We really do like it.
So that's where we are and where we'll be for a little bit, and we'll get into that in a minute. But just a quick recap of where we went and how we got here to Sumter, because a lot of people are, if they know South Carolina at all, they probably are wondering, why did we choose Sumter? So let's recap a little bit if you haven't been following, or if you watched the videos when they came out before and it's been a long time. Here's a recap. We left our home in Oregon May 6th. We hit the road and we hit 17 states in 3 months, going from Airbnb to Airbnb. We saw sights and did some wonderful adventuring, and our family really enjoyed it. At the end of July, we stopped our vacation time to start searching for a home. And that ended up a little bit differently than we had planned. What did you say?
A little bit.
So we spent the next few months looking for a place to live. During that time, we lived in North Carolina for 1 month in a town called Kernersville. We moved then down to Greenville, which is in South Carolina. We lived there for a little over a month, I think it was. And then we were in North Myrtle Beach for another month. So that brings us up through October or so. During that time, we found a piece of property. Yay!
Unfortunately, it wasn't on the beach, because the beach was amazing. Let me tell you, it's one thing to visit the beach. It's another thing to live 6 minutes from the beach in summertime in South Carolina. It was pretty great.
Yeah.
it was fun.
But this house that we found had acreage and a lot of what we were looking for. And what happened, honey?
Well, it just kind of drug on and on and on.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've been in the mortgage industry for 18 years, and we didn't go through the lender that I worked for. We went through another lender, and honestly, it was probably one of the worst transactions I had ever seen handled by a mortgage company, so that was very unfortunate. Long story short, basically 3 days before closing, the lender said, yeah, we can't lend on that many acreage. That much acreage. When in the very beginning we had asked them, make sure that we can borrow, get a loan on 20 acres, 40 acres,
Yeah.
Something more than 15, which is what their max was. So anyways, that kind of put the kibosh on that. And so
Sadly.
yeah. So we had to kind of go back to the drawing board, but there really wasn't any time to go look for another property at that point. If you've been looking for a home at any time last year, and probably even first part of 2022, you'll know inventory is low. It's tough to find what you want, and we have we're pretty particular on what we are looking for. Mm-hmm. If you've been watching our channel, you know what our parameters were. And, maybe we'll touch on that again in a little bit, but yeah, it just wasn't out there what we were looking for. Again, that was kind of a one-of-a-kind property. So we decided, well, rather than spend another week or so or a month or so in an Airbnb, which is really expensive, we're just going to have to find somewhere to rent.
Yeah.
And so
we did.
Yeah.
We actually found an amazing rental in Sumter. It's 7 bedrooms, 4 bathroom, and that fits our family very, very nicely. It's very roomy here. It's got a nice big lot, room for the dogs to run around, and we really like the house. Very newly remodeled, so just about knew everything, and it was mostly furnished, which was also a big plus, because if you know about our story, you know that all of our belongings are in Oregon still in shipping containers. So this house having beds was just a dream for us, knowing that we had just come off something very disappointing, to having to now look for a rental in a town that we didn't know anything about when we got here. But the kids were ready to settle, at least stop living out of their suitcase. They know we're not settled, but they were ready to stop being in an Airbnb and jumping around, and actually put their clothes away. And if you've ever lived out of a suitcase for any length of time, you know there is some joy and satisfaction with hanging them up and or putting them in the drawers. That's just an amazing thing. So the kids were ready. We were ready to stop spending so much on an Airbnb and kind of decorate and make this place our own for the year. So what's the plan now, honey?
The plan. Do we have any other questions before?
No.
We're reading a script, so you're going to have to forgive us because there's a lot to talk about. And we could spend years talking about it. Yeah, so our plan. So our plan is to resume looking for a house in April, which is coming up here very soon. And so we're not sure what the market's going to be. We've been looking, if you want to be, if we're really honest, we have been looking just to kind of see what's out there, and it's slim pickings. Yeah, so inventory is not really increasing at all. Prices might be coming down. I'm seeing lots of price drops, so I think what's out there, people are starting to list again because it's going to be springtime, in not too much longer. So I know there's going to be a lot more coming back on the market. And I think some of the stuff that's been out there for a while, they're dropping their prices a little bit. So I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. Interest rates are going up. Economies, who knows what it's going to do based on that. So it's all cyclical. Comes up, comes down. Goes sideways. We just can't control that. But that's really going to be our target. Is to start looking again in April. And nothing's new. We're going to still trust God to lead us and bring that house in the right time, in the right place.
Yeah.
The right place, geographically is big, the right place, because we are in this house, in this rental, through November. That's the end of our contract on this house. And so we know we're not going to be moving before then. But in between now and November, there's a lot of involvement, and we're going to be involved in the church that we found here, in the community to some extent, but our kids probably going to be finding jobs, so we'll be faced with another challenge if the home we find is not in this area, because we will have to pick up again. So there's some unknowns, as per usual, but that's okay. Psalm 37 says, dwell in the land and feed on his faithfulness. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to dwell in the land. We're going to do what we do, and we're going to believe that God will remain faithful, and we're looking forward to see what happens.
Yeah. And there's a couple of reasons why we weren't on for so long. One just being the holidays came, and we had moved here right before, I think it was a week before Thanksgiving, and there was just so many things going on. So from the last video, which I think was me traveling from Oregon to back here, back to South Carolina, so many things had transpired. The deal falling through, and then us quickly trying to find a rental, holidays, etc., etc. And I just didn't have it in me to film. Just honestly, I couldn't. There was just too much going on. Kind of waves of discouragement, not crippling discouragement, but some. And when you're trying to have family life and relatives come in from out of town and all that stuff, I just couldn't do it. So we're back. It's a new year, 2022, and we're starting a brand new chapter. So what can you expect from us on this channel? Well, we're happy to tell you. So I've been brainstorming a lot, and there's a lot of things that I like doing and that I'm actually going to film and put up, and hopefully one of those catches your attention. I know that one of the things that we have been doing as a family is really pressing into what God has for us, not just in this transition. This seems like a year-long transition, but in our lives in general. And we want to share that with you. So just expect a lot of new things. This is the first video of our new chapter in 2022, and we're just going to have a lot of content that we are really excited about, we're really passionate about, and we're going to put a lot of content on the channel, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So
It's going to be good.
So what can they do, honey?
What can you do? Because I know that's the burning question. What can we
what
do?
can you do?
We just want to do something. So what you can do, we would love your prayers, continued prayers, just for God's guidance and his continued provision and just peace in, just trying to weigh out our options and for clarity. So, we definitely appreciate any prayers that you can give us. Of course, this channel, if you're not a subscriber already to our YouTube channel, DeiTerraFarms, we'd love that if you would subscribe. Of course, like this video as well.
Yeah.
And apparently there's a bell thing somewhere you're supposed to hit that notifies you when new videos come up.
Yes.
I'm catching on. So yes, like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications, and we'd love if you would continue to follow us along this journey. And we definitely appreciate you watching us, and we hope that we provide some great content for you.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, keeping up, and following along with us. We really do appreciate it. We miss you back home, and hopefully you miss us too. But with that, we say blessings to you all, and we'll see you next time.
Okay. See ya.
Bye.